This is part one of a quick series about the competencies of being a business analyst. Just to keep everything nice and consistent, I'll use the same groupings used by the IIBA so that if you're studying for any certification or anything, you don't get confused. These videos are going to be short and tackle only one component of a competency at a time because who has time for long 20-minute videos? This video is part one of analytical thinking, which is creative thinking for business analysis. It's important to remember that competencies are things that you become competent at, not things you were inherently born with. So much like an athlete continues to train their endurance, strength, power, and coordination, you should train these skills by reading up on them, honing them, and keeping them sharp. Creative thinking intimidates a lot of people because they immediately think like artistically creative. Creative thinking in the problem-solving space is much more about exploring ideas, challenging assumptions, asking questions, and applying new ideas to solve problems. The more you understand about the world you're working in, the easier it becomes to find creative solutions. For example, you can't figure out that using data source X and integrating it with the new tool from department Y would solve your exact problem if you don't understand what is in data source X or what the new tool is actually capable of accomplishing. So, what do you need to do to continue to build your ability to think creatively? First, challenge assumptions and ask questions. Questions like, why do we do it that way? Do we have to do it that way? What if we did it this way? Next, be open to new information and ideas as they're thrown at you. That is, challenge your own assumptions and assume there's always something more to be learned that can change how you see a problem. Finally, continually chase new information about new technologies, what other people are doing in the company, and all the different ways the technology around you can be utilized. A fun exercise to practice creative thinking on your own is playing with constraints. There are two ways to do this. You can either come up with, let's say, 5 unique ways to carry out a task, or you can do my preferred method, which is come up with a way to do the task, then come up with a constraint or variable that makes that method no longer viable, then find a solution, and then keep doing that. For example, if you had to give a presentation and you want to do something exciting and creative, you might ask yourself how you do the presentation without PowerPoint, then maybe without a computer, then maybe without speaking, then maybe only speaking and no visuals. Once you come up with those ideas, the final product will likely be a mix of the best parts of each of those. That was my quick rundown of creative thinking for a business analyst. I hope that was helpful. Stay tuned for the next parts in the series. As always, if you have additional questions, ask them in the comments and I will either respond to you there or create a new video to answer your questions. So subscribe to see those questions get answered. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for part 2.